Akashvani presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for strengthening bilateral cooperation between India and Cyprus. Says cooperation between the two countries has immense potential for growth. Prime Minister to hold talks with Cypriot President Nikos Christodoulides in Nicosia today. Government to issue gazette notification today to conduct India's 16th census with caste enumeration. Home Minister Amit Shah reviews preparations for forthcoming census. Former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani among 80 Air India crash victims identified through DNA testing. 33 bodies handed over to families. Indian students in Iran being moved to safer places amid rising tension. And India Meteorological Department issues red alert for heavy rainfall along west coast. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has underscored India's commitment to deepening economic ties with Cyprus as he addressed the Business Roundtable in Limassol during his official visit. The Prime Minister said that beginning the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Cyprus in 23 years with a Business Roundtable highlights the importance India places on economic engagement.
साइप्रस लंबे समय से हमारा विश्वसनीय पार्टनर रहा है और भारत में यहाँ से उल्लेखनीय निवेश भी हुआ है। कई भारतीय कंपनियों ने भी साइप्रस को यूरोप का गेटवे के रूप में ही देखा है। आज आपसी व्यापार $150 मिलियन पहुंच गया है, लेकिन हमारे रिश्तों की वास्तविक क्षमता इससे बहुत अधिक है।
The Prime Minister said India is focusing on sectors like maritime and port development, shipbuilding and shipbreaking and is introducing new policies to promote them.
मैरीटाइम और पोर्ट डेवलपमेंट पर हमारा फोकस है। हम शिप बिल्डिंग और शिप ब्रेकिंग को भी प्राथमिकता दे रहे हैं। इसके लिए एक नई पॉलिसी भी लाई जा रही है। सिविल एविएशन सेक्टर में भी तेजी से ग्रो कर रहा है। भारतीय कंपनियों ने 1000 से ज्यादा एयरक्राफ्ट उसका नया ऑर्डर दिया है।
Mr. Modi highlighted India's transformation through structural reforms.
आज विश्व में भारत बहुत तेजी से ग्रो करने वाला एक इमर्जिंग इकोनॉमी में इसका स्थान है। साथियों, आप भली भांति जानते हैं हमने टैक्स रिफॉर्म्स किए हैं। जीएसटी के साथ वन नेशन वन टैक्स प्रणाली लाई गई है। कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स रेशनलाइज किया गया है। हजारों की संख्या में कानूनों में डीक्रिमिनलाइजेशन करने का काम हमने किया है। हमने ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस के साथ साथ ट्रस्ट ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस उस पर भी उतना ही बल दिया है। आज भारत में स्पष्ट नीति है, उसके साथ साथ स्टेबल पॉलिटी भी है।
Our correspondent covering the Prime Minister's visit has filed this report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's historic visit to Cyprus, the first by an Indian Prime Minister in over 2 decades, has set the stage for a new era in bilateral ties. Addressing a business roundtable, the Prime Minister said the visit's very first event being an economic dialogue shows how central business and investment are to the Indian-Cyprus partnership. He highlighted India's rapid reforms over the past decade, from GST to digital payments, and invited Cypriot companies to invest in sectors like shipping, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and fintech. Key outcomes included Cyprus joining India's UPI ecosystem, an MOU between NSE, GIFT City and the Cyprus Stock Exchange, and a Cyprus-based fund committing over $100 million to India-focused investments. Rajadurai, Akashvani News from Cyprus.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold talks with Cypriot President Nikos Christodoulides in Nicosia today. The two leaders are expected to discuss a wide range of areas including education, digital partnerships and regional security. Discussions will also touch on global developments such as the India-EU partnership and the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor. Prime Minister Modi will conclude his Cyprus visit with an official lunch hosted in his honor at the Presidential Palace. From Cyprus, Mr. Modi will head to Kananaskis in Canada to participate in the G7 summit at the invitation of Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Following the G7 summit, PM Modi will visit Croatia and hold meetings with President Zoran Milanovic and Prime Minister Andrej Plenković. Home Minister Amit Shah reviewed the preparation for the forthcoming census with the Union Home Secretary and other senior officials in New Delhi yesterday. Mr. Shah said in a social media post that the gazette notification of the census will be issued today. The census will include caste enumeration for the first time. The Home Minister said as many as 34 lakh enumerators and supervisors and around 1.3 lakh census functionaries will conduct the operation with cutting-edge mobile digital gadgets. The census will be conducted in 2 phases. 3 days after the tragic crash of Air India flight AI-171 in Ahmedabad, hospital authorities have confirmed the identification of 80 victims through DNA matching, including that of former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani. Additional Superintendent of Ahmedabad Civil Hospital, Dr. Rajneesh Patel, informed the media that as of last night, DNA matching has been completed for 80 victims and 33 bodies has been handed over to their families.
जो हमारे पास दर्दी आए थे उनमें से 80 डेड बॉडीज का शिनाख्त एंड डीएनए मैचिंग हो गया है। ये सबके सब जो कंफर्म हुए हैं डीएनए मैचिंग उनके रिश्तेदार से 100% कांटेक्ट हो गया है। दे हैव रिलेट कि वो उनकी हिसाब से उनका डेड बॉडी लेने के लिए आएंगे। 33 डेड बॉडीज जो थे मैच हुए थे वो सबमिट करके वो ले गए।
Gujarat government has declared state mourning today following the tragic demise of former Chief Minister Vijay Rupani. As a mark of respect, the national flag will be flown at half-mast on all government buildings across the state. The mortal remains of the late leader were identified yesterday through DNA matching at the Ahmedabad Civil Hospital. Final rites will be performed with full state honours at Rajkot this evening. The first meeting of the high-level committee set up by the government to investigate the Ahmedabad plane crash will be held today afternoon in New Delhi. The committee will be chaired by the Union Home Secretary. The members of the high-level multidisciplinary committee includes Secretary Ministry of Civil Aviation, senior officials from Home Ministry, officials of Home Department and State Disaster Response Authority of Gujarat, Police Commissioner of Ahmedabad, Director General of Inspection and Safety in the Indian Air Force and Director General of Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. The committee will submit its report within 3 months. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle at AIR News Alerts. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download the News on AIR app. The war between Iran and Israel is in its 4th day of direct hostilities as international diplomatic activity is in full swing to prevent the conflict from engulfing broader West Asia. While the ongoing military operations have killed dozens of people and caused widespread destruction, a complex matrix of behind-the-scenes negotiations is underway among world leaders and world powers and regional actors desperately trying to contain the crisis. More from our correspondent.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has indicated readiness for nuclear agreements that ensure Iran does not pursue weapons development, but insists that the country will not accept any deal that deprives it of nuclear rights. Behind closed doors, Iran has approached Qatar and Oman, requesting them to act as intermediaries with the United States to facilitate ceasefire negotiations, while Saudi Arabia is reportedly involved in diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the situation. US President Donald Trump has expressed optimism about peace prospects, stating that he anticipates a deal soon through ongoing calls and meetings to broker an agreement. International diplomatic efforts have accelerated as global leaders warn of the urgent need to prevent the conflict from spilling over to the rest of West Asia, with multiple regional powers working frantically to halt what they describe as a spiral of violence, causing irreparable economic and civil damage to both sides. This is Vinod Kumar for Akashvani News from Dubai.
The Indian Embassy in Tehran is continuously monitoring the security situation and engaging Indian students in Iran to ensure their safety. External Affairs Ministry said in a statement that in some cases, students are being relocated with embassy's facilitation to safer places within Iran. The ministry added that other feasible options are also under examination. The embassy is also in touch with community leaders regarding welfare and safety. The India Meteorological Department or IMD has issued a red colour warning for heavy to very heavy rainfall on the west coast of the country. Talking to Akashvani News, IMD senior scientist R.K. Jenamani said that Delhi, Haryana, Punjab and Gujarat are expected to experience thunderstorms with gusty wind and lightning in the next 2 days. He added that the maximum temperature over northwest India, including Delhi, has reduced drastically yesterday. Dr. Jenamani added that there has not been any progress in monsoon in any part of India, but heavy to very heavy rainfall is still continuing over Konkan, Goa and coastal Karnataka. He said in most of the stations, temperatures were below 40 degrees Celsius or normal yesterday.
The prediction we have issued red color warning for west coast of India due to very heavy to extremely heavy rainfall, mainly South Konkan, Goa, coastal Karnataka and Kerala, and thunderstorm lightning and gusty wind activity further for the North India covering Gujarat, Western India and Rajasthan and Punjab, Haryana including Delhi for next 2 days. And over these places there will be no heatwave condition.
Heavy rain continues to lash Kerala. Met Department has forecast widespread rain in the coming days. In the northern districts, heavy rain has severely impacted normal life with waterlogging in low-lying areas. Holiday has been declared for all educational institutions in 11 districts today. Moving on to sports, we have updates from table tennis, boxing and archery. In table tennis, Mumbai-based franchise U Mumba clinched their maiden ultimate table tennis title with a dominant 8-4 win over the Jaipur Patriots in the Season 6 Grand Finale last night. More details from the sports desk.
Early victories by Lilian Bade and Bernadette Soch gave U Mumba a strong start before Soch teamed up with Akash Pal to sweep the mixed doubles 3-0, putting them on the brink of victory. Teenager Abhinanth Bibi then sealed the title with a clutch game win in the fourth match. In boxing, Indian pugilist Nishan Dev won his second professional fight, defeating Jose Silva via unanimous decision 60-54 in the super welterweight bout at Madison Square Garden in New York. The 24-year-old who recently turned professional was victorious in his debut match in January this year, winning against Alton Wiggins via first-round stoppage. And in archery, the selection trials for the upcoming World Cup Stage 4 and the World Championship saw a dramatic upset last evening. Experienced archer Abhishek Verma and three-time Olympian Atanu Das failed to make the cut, while 4 uncapped players secured their spots. Among the standout performers were Maharashtra's 15-year-old Gatha Khatke and Sharvari Shinde, who earned places in the 4-member women's recurve team, finishing behind veterans Deepika Kumari and Ankita Bhakat. All 4 archers will participate in the World Cup Stage 4 scheduled to be held in Madrid from July 8 to 13th. However, only the top 3 will go on to compete at the World Championship in Guangzhou, set to take place from September 5 to 12th. With Sudhir Singh Yadav, Aishwarya Rai Nigam, Sports Desk, Akashvani.
In our bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak at 9:30 p.m. today, we will bring an insightful discussion on cyber scams, how to stay safe online with Lieutenant Colonel Badal Kaushik, Director, Cyber Fraud Mitigation Center, I4C, and Gulshan Rai, Cyber Security Expert. To participate, simply dial the telephone numbers 011-2342-1050 and 011-231-4444 from 9:30 p.m. onwards today. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Shagun Chopra.
Thank you, Anuja. Hindustan Times states health clean energy levy may replace GST compensation cess. In the relief to taxpayers, government plans to fix refund provision in new income tax bill, cites business standard. Government weighs tighter regulations and stricter checkups for online platforms delivering medicines within 60 minutes as safety concerns rise, notes the Economic Times. Simplifying life and also prevent possibility of forged papers used to get Aadhaar. Soon, e-Aadhaar will be sufficient for verification using a new app based on QR code, writes the Times of India. The Hindu, quoting the Union Minister for Science and Technology, gives a new date of launch of Axiom Mission 4 as 19th June. And finally, the Pioneer refers to a survey which reveals a growing adoption of yoga worldwide as India prepares for International Day of Yoga on 21st June. And with that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Shagun. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for strengthening bilateral cooperation between India and Cyprus, says cooperation between the two countries has immense potential for growth. Prime Minister to hold talks with Cypriot President Nikos Christodoulides in Nicosia today. Government to issue gazette notification today to conduct India's 16th census with caste enumeration. Home Minister Amit Shah reviews preparations for forthcoming census. Former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani among 80 Air India crash victims identified through DNA testing. 33 bodies handed over to families. Indian students in Iran being moved to safer places amid rising tension. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.